What'd you do?
I'm saving that.
What did you do?
You see this tree that I'm looking at?
Uh-huh.
He saw me, and like I just went around like this. And he thought he was gonna trick me and come to the other side and hit me. He swung, hit the tree, and then he tried to go around, hit the tree, and fell down the hill.
Oh, that's somebody.
And then he's like, "Fuck this," and left.
See, that's the nurse effect.
I'm not gonna go down there.
What's he doing?
I don't know. Oh, there you got me that time. So we have the new chapter for Dead by Daylight called Darkness Among Us. It has a new killer and a new survivor. And I really do not like this killer at all. I believe he is trash. Also, we have a winter solstice event that's going to last until January 4th, I believe. So let's get right into this. Alright, before we begin, I want to show this like 8-minute footage of a game I had recently with the Legion. It's going to show some really bad gameplay on my part, but still shows some of the things that are wrong with him. For one thing, he's a very short killer, or she, and it's very hard for you to see above certain obstacles. On top of that, when you're chasing someone in his frenzy, it's hard to see things around you because of the animation that's going on. See, like right here, this is a perfect example. She went behind the thing, and the scratch marks are there. I go around this way to try to go around to see if she went around the rock. She's not around the rock, and she's just gone. She's just totally gone. There's no noise, nothing. I don't know where she went. And due to situations like this, and because sometimes there's no one around you to chase other survivors or deep wound other survivors, because that's what his ability does, you are forced to chase that one survivor you find or to look for them. And that wastes a lot of your time as a Legion. Your purpose is to hit multiple targets, but see, as in this case, I'm being gen rushed. I don't know where that survivor went, so now I have no choice but to go look for someone else at the generators. Excuse me, I'm still a little sick. I got sick again. Funny. So, I actually find the survivor that I first hit, but it's not doing anything at this point because they already have 2 generators going, and the 3 that are being left alone are still doing generators. So I'm gonna lose this game no matter what I do. Another thing that's wrong with this killer is that it requires 3 hits for you to down one survivor. Because when you hit a survivor with your frenzy, it puts them into deep wound, which is like a bleed out effect if they don't heal themselves. And if you hit them again while in deep wound with your frenzy, it doesn't actually knock them down. It only makes their deep wound meter deplete more. So if you hit them again, it'll deplete to about like half or something like along those lines. So you would have to hit them again after that to actually put them down if you're tunneling someone, right? I'm not saying that that's what you should be doing, but sometimes there's no one else around you and you're forced to chase that one survivor. And then this situation here, you may down them after putting 3 hits on them, right? And then they'll just destrike you and get away from you. So there's a lot of time a lot of your time is being wasted, and I don't really like that. Now, he came with some pretty good perks, I would say. Mad Grit and Discordance, I believe, is the other one. I'll talk about those maybe later. But those two are pretty good perks that he came with. Aside from having good perks, there's not really much I like about this character. And even saying that his perks are that you like, it's not anything relevant. Because there's another killer that is known by the community to be the worst killer in the game, and that's Freddy Krueger, right? But if you are able to get 4Ks with Freddy Krueger, which is unanimously known as the worst killer in the game, but you can't even get a pip with Legion, what does that make Legion? In my opinion, it makes Legion the worst killer in the game. Now there are content creators that are very good with Legion and do some pretty good gameplay, like True Talent, Tomonto, and even Tide Time. But even Tide Time says that he just doesn't like this killer, and True Talent's the only one that's given the killer the benefit of the doubt. In this situation now, see, I'm forced to camp the hook because they did all the generators. I only have one person on the hook and I haven't killed anybody, right? Now, part of that is my fault because I didn't play optimally, but it is also this killer's lack of skill that you can use. His power does not allow you to down people. And the only reason I downed that person right now is because I have Noed. If it wasn't for Noed, I wouldn't have gotten that person knocked down, right? If it was just a regular hit, he would have got them off the hook, probably had borrowed time or something, and the other person would have escaped. Because at the end of the game like this, if you try to use Frenzy to apply Deep Wound, it's gonna go bad for you because they can still run away from you because you would have to hit them 3 times total to knock them down. So you would rather just hit them with your normal attack to make it 2 attacks to knock them down. But even then, they could just take the hit and get their little speed boost and make it to the exit gate from where you are. Now here's the same principle. I can't really do anything but stay at the hook. So we'll just edit this clip here, and I'll show you another clip here where someone Kobe's and I can't catch them, which will show another problem. So another major problem with Legion is his movement speed. His movement speed is 110, as opposed to, I believe, the killer's normal killer's speed is 115, like Michael Myers and the Pig and whatnot. The only other killer that's at this kind of speed is the Nurse and Huntress, and I think the Nurse is even lower than the 110, but that's because she can blink. Now, you can't catch anything with the Legion if they have a really good head start away from you, and this right here is going to show that. This guy's about to Kobe off the hook, and I can't catch him. He is able to get to the other side. Right here. He's able to get to the other side of the map and get to the door. I use Frenzy to try to catch up with him, but I can only do so much. I can't even catch up to him. I'm still so far away. And the bar does not even replenish fast enough for me to be able to use it again. This movement speed is terrible. So going from having secured a second kill, now I only to I only have one kill, and the other kill just got scot-free away from me. So, Legion is just a terrible, terrible killer. Not just because of these things, but the community itself has like even said it. This killer's not viable. Like, how is this killer viable when worse killers can do better? Sure, there's some gimmicky things you can do with his perks and other perk builds and all that Monto has done, and maybe some others, but that's not good enough. Your killer should be able to do the basic minimum thing, which is to right click to down people, and his power is supposed to be able to help you secure the downs like other killers. Now I would have done this video sooner, but when Legion first came out, I tried them out, and 10 games in a row I played with them at rank 1. This was before the rank reset. Every single one of those 10 games, every survivor escaped. Now granted, the killer was brand new at the time, and I did not know how to play with him. But that still shows something. If I can't even secure one kill, because me myself, I'm a rank 1 killer, even though it doesn't mean much because there's no such thing as true rank. If I can't even secure one kill, what the hell does that say about this killer? This killer's just trash. I can secure one kill with any killer, even with the nurse, which is a killer I don't know how to play with because I suck at blinking. So that was just some information you should know. But I got pissed off, stopped playing for a week, came back, played some more games with them to see if anything. It's just a cool off and change, right? But even with that, what I noticed is that after the rank reset, the only reason I was getting kills is because these survivors are bad. Rank reset just, there's nothing that gives you definite information whether the killer is good or not, because everyone is mixed together and you can't tell if anyone's good or not. But these particular survivors, like this, they don't know how to route, they rage quit, they are not gonna show me if this killer is good or not. And the only reason I got any kills or 4K them is because they're bad. So what I don't like about the killer, just to sum it all up, is that his movement speed is ass. He can't catch up to anyone. He'll get power loop for days, just like the Huntress does. That's number one, his movement speed. 2, it takes 3 hits to down anyone if you want to tunnel. And sometimes you have to tunnel. Sometimes there's no one else around me to hit. That guy is around me, but he's too far for me to go after him. So I have to tunnel this person. Now, Freddy Krueger is the only other killer that requires 3 hits to down someone. But the difference is his power, and I say 3 hits because because putting someone to sleep is technically hitting them. So you have to put them to sleep, then you have to hit them once, and then a second time to actually knock them down. So that's why I say that. But with Freddy's power, you can use it to your advantage because it helps you keep track of them around the map because you always can see them as long as they leave your terrorist radius. This guy's power doesn't do that. All it does is make them not do generators and heal their wound. That's it. If I would have hit the first guy, and then there'll be 2 other people around me that I could have jumped to attack with my frenzy, if he was a good survivor and saw that I left him, he would immediately start landing. I'll hit the second guy, I'll hit the third guy. The first guy will automatically heal the wound, and he'll just go do a generator because he doesn't have to heal himself because because Deep Wound does not put you down if you use the Frenzy. The only way I would knock him back down is if I just do a normal attack. And the only reason I would do that is if there's no one else around me. If there was someone else around me, like two people, I would Deep Wound him and then go attack someone else, right? That makes sense. That's what you're supposed to do. The other thing is, his powers need to be reworked. The developers put fun over actually having a good killer. Why? Because they balance for rank 16s to 20s. They don't care about the rank 1 players. They don't care about the competitive players. Because to them, this is not a competitive game. But it doesn't matter whether you as a developer think this is a competitive game or not. Smash Brothers was not considered a competitive game by the developers. The community turned it into a competitive game. That's how it works. So, you shouldn't... Fun should be... Sure, I think that you should keep in mind, but you should also keep in mind how to balance and make a good designed killer. So, a good sword doesn't matter because they're all just rehashed skins, it doesn't matter. And the perks are teachable to anybody else. But the killers are unique in that they have unique powers. And if your power does not help you secure it down, it is a useless power. Pretty much. Very quickly, let's just mention the Winter Solstice. It is nothing special this year around. All they did was add a few costumes to survivors, mostly like giving them ugly sweaters. And then the clown got a Santa costume. That's pretty much it. Last year they added like special hooks and special generators, which was actually pretty cool. I like when events do that because it gives you like a minor secondary objective because people will go after the special generators and hooks in order to get bonus points. And that's actually what this game needs from the survivor side's perspective, a second objective. Because right now the game is really quickly finishes fast, and the survivors have all the power due to gen rushing. But anyways, let's move back on to Legion. So I just want to say a couple things, a couple ways that they should change Legion in order to give them more viability in the game. Probably not give them all of these things, but they should probably like do a test and give them some here there and test it out to see which is good enough to work out. Some of these you might have heard from other content creators, but we'll just see. Maybe I'll have something different. First thing is the mending. Actually, just start with that. The mending thing. When a survivor is mending after a deep wound, they don't make any noise. So the survivor could actually stay near the killer without making any noise. If they have I don't forget that perk is, but the perk that doesn't make noise when you're injured. So they can just stay around you, mend, and you wouldn't even know as a killer that he's next to you or she's next to you. So the mending ability should make some type of noise to let you know that the server's around you. Otherwise, like what happened earlier video showed, I couldn't find that survivor. They were mending around me somewhere, and it just wasted my time. Another thing about mending is that if it is interrupted, it should regress back to nothing until you start mending again. So like it shouldn't be like self-care where if you interrupt self-care it stays at whatever progress you made, because Deep Wound is an actual ongoing status effect. It's a special status effect from the Legion's power. So it should be more concerning to you to fix that as soon as possible. Therefore, if you don't fix it right away, or you get interrupted, should I say, it should just regress back down until all the way back to 0 until you start again. Like not like completely, but like from wherever you're at, it should just slowly start regressing back. It shouldn't do it instantaneously. It should be like a slow progress back down. Another thing is that the fatigue effect of hitting someone with deep wound, like say if you hit them twice, that should only be applied to the killer if he uses frenzy and completely does not hit anybody with it. So if he uses frenzy and is catching up to someone but doesn't actually manage to get up to him to hit them, then he should fatigue, because because deep frenzy should be more like on the line of adrenaline. So like when someone's running on adrenaline, they can keep going and running, and they don't get fatigued from that. But since his adrenaline is built on actually hitting someone, and that's why he sees other people around him, because he has the adrenaline, that blood rush to hit others, then he shouldn't fatigue if he hits other people. But he should get the what do you call it, the cooldown from actually hitting them, like wiping his blade off or whatever, with successful attacks after the timer runs out, even if he hits someone successfully, you know, not on the first one, but probably on the second hit. Because the second hit's what drains the whole bar on the same survivor, so that's the one where he should make a cooldown on his knife, but he should not fatigue. Only if he does not hit anybody. His movement speed should be at 115 or at the normal speed at the typical killers like Myers, Pig. I forgot about that. Freddy. You know, the killers like that. It should be at 115. I believe that's the right movement speed. To be able to catch up to survivors. Because at the end of the game, if there's a generator power, the gates are open, Legion can't do anything unless he has no-ed. If he does not have a no-ed, he can't down anybody, because as it is right now, frenzy ability does not help him down anyone because it requires 3 hits. And each time you hit a survivor, they get a speed boost. So giving him that movement speed will actually help him greatly. Even though it's just a small amount of a movement speed change, it helps, because time is against the killer and time is what they need. This last one's more about the deep wound, like while being injured and not being injured. If you are not if you are not injured and you get hit while on frenzy, of course, it should put you in the deep wound, right? But if you already are injured and not in deep wound, and I use frenzy to catch up to you, hit you, it should not put you in deep wound. It should actually put you in a down state, because you already got hit once, and now you're gonna need to be hit 3 more times, because you required the original hit from the deep wound. Put you into deep wound. From frenzy to put you into deep wound, and then a second hit drains it to halfway, and then the third hit actually puts you down. So that's 4 hits now, just because you were in injured state. If you use frenzy, that's way too much time wasted. So if you are in an injured state, the survivor should be knocked down if you use frenzy on them. Now, not all these changes should be implemented, because they'll be probably overpowered, most likely overpowered. But some of these changes should be like tested out, work to see what makes it, what can be done, the least amount of changes that can be done to make it more viable, right? I believe there was one more I did not write down, so I kind of forgot. But it revolved around his power too. If I can remember really quickly, maybe. Oh yeah, the mending. The last thing about the mending is that see. The mending progress, like for the survivor to fall down, should not stop unless you're being chased. That's the only time it should progress should stop. Even if you're mending yourself, it should still keep going down because it's putting the race of time back on the server instead of always having it on the killer. The survivor should be the one more concerned about not falling down, so they should try to escape and bend as soon as possible, right? So the progress bar should just keep going all the way down, even if they're bending. The only time it should not is if they're being chased, because that's would be fair. Now, like I said, all of these changes should be worked out, tested out, see what works, not. Maybe I'm just don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right? But it seems to me that the killer's this killer's power is his greatest weakness.